Dawn came up from the couch of her reclining, leaving her lord Tithonus's brilliant side, with fresh light in her arms for gods and men. And the master of heaven and high thunder, Zeus, went to his place among the gods assembled, hearing Athena tell Odysseus' woe. For she, being vexed that he was still sojourning at the sea chambers of Calypso, said,
Father Zeus and gods in bliss forever, let no man holding scepter as a king think to be mild or kind or virtuous. Let him be cruel and practice evil ways. For those Odysseus ruled cannot remember the fatherhood and mercy of his reign. Meanwhile he lives and grieves upon that island, enthralled him to the nymph. He cannot stir, cannot fare homeward, for no ship is left him, fitted with oars, no crewmen or companions to pull him on the broad back of the sea. And now murder is hatched on the high sea against his son, who sought news of his father in the holy lands of Pylos and Lacedaemon.
Summoner of the Cloud replied,
Hermes, you have much practice on our missions. Go make it known to the softly braided nymph that we, those whose will is not subject to error, order Odysseus home. Let him depart. But let him have no company, gods or men, only a raft that he must lash together, and after 20 days, worn out at sea, he shall make land upon the garden isle, Shirika, of our kinsmen, the Phaeacians. Let these men take him to their hearts in honor, and berth him in a ship, and send him home, with gifts of garments, gold and bronze, so much he cannot count it on from Troy, could he have carried home his share of plunder. His destiny is to see his friends again under his own roof in his father's country.
No words were lost on Hermes the wayfinder, who bent to tie his beautiful sandals on, ambrosial, golden, that carry him over water, or over endless land in a swish of the wind, and took the wand with which he charms to sleep, or when he wills awake the eyes of men. So wand in hand he paced into the air, shot from Pieria down to sea level, and veered to skim the swell. A gull patrolling between the waved crests of the desolate sea will dip to catch a fish and douse his wings. No higher above the whitecaps Hermes flew, until the distant land lay ahead. Then, rising shoreward from the violet ocean, he stepped up to the cave. Divine Calypso, the mistress of the isle, was now at home. Upon her hearthstone a great fire blazing sent to the farthest shores with cedar smoke and smoke of thyme, and singing high and low in her sweet voice, before her loom a-weaving, she passed her golden shuttle to and fro. A deep wood grew outside, with summer leaves of alder and black poplar, pungent cypress. Ornate birds here rested their stretched wings, horned owls, falcons, cormorants, long-tongued beach-combing birds, and followers of the sea. Around the smooth-walled cave, a crooking vine held purple clusters under ply of green, and 4 springs bubbled up near one another, shallow and clear, took channels here and there through beds of violets and tender parsley. Even a god who found this place would gaze and feel his heart beat with delight. So Hermes did. But when he gazed his fill, he entered the wide cave. Now, face to face, the magical Calypso recognized him, as all immortal gods know one another on sight, though seeming strangers far from home. But he saw nothing of the great Odysseus, who sat apart as 1,000 times before, and racked his own heart groaning, with eyes wet scanning the bare horizon of the sea. Calypso, lovely nymph, seated her guest in a bright chair all shimmering, and asked,
O Hermes, ever with your golden wand, what brings you to my island? Your awesome visits in the past were few. Now tell me what request you have in mind, for I desire to do it, if I can, and if it is a proper thing to do. But wait a while, and let me serve my friend.
Drew a table of ambrosia near him, and stirred a cup of ruby-colored nectar food, and drank for the luminous wayfinder, who took both at his leisure, and replied,
Goddess to god, you greet me, questioning me? Well, here is truth for you in courtesy. Zeus made me come, and not my inclination. Who cares to cross that tract of desolation, the bitter sea, all mortal towns behind, where gods have beef and honors for mankind? But it is not to be thought of, and no use for any god to elude the will of Zeus. He notes your friend, most ill-starred by renown of all the peers who fought for Priam's town. 9 years of war they had, before great Troy was down. Homing, they wronged the goddesses with grey eyes, who made a black wind blow and seas arise, in which his troops were lost and all his gear, while easterlies and current washed him here. Now the command is, send him back in haste. His life may not in exile go to waste. His destiny, his homecoming is at hand, when he shall see his dearest, and walk on his own land.
The goddess most divinely made shuddered before him, and in her warm voice rose.
Oh, you vile gods, in jealousy supernal, you hate it when we choose to lie with men, immortal flesh by some dear mortal's side. So radiant dawn once took to bed Orion, until you easeful gods grew peevish at it. And holy Artemis, throned in gold, hunted him down in Delos with her arrows. Then Demeter of the tasseled tresses yielded to Iason, mingling and making love in a furrow 3 times plowed. But Zeus found out, and killed him with a white-hot thunderbolt. So now you grudge me too, my mortal friend. But it was I who saved him, saw him straddle his own keelboard, the one man left afloat, when Zeus rent wide his ship with chain lighting, and overturned him in the wine-dark sea. Then all his troops were lost, his good companions, but wind and current washed him here to me. I fed him, loved him, saying that he should not die nor grow old, ever, in all the days to come. But now there's no eluding Zeus's will. If this thing be ordained by him, I say so be it. Let the man strike out alone on the vast water. Surely I cannot send him. I have no long oared ships, no company to pull him on the broad back of the sea. My counsel he shall have, and nothing hidden, to help him find homeward without harm.